Hi, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about this retro gaming handheld. It's the R36S. It really doesn't have a brand name. It just goes by the number. So I bought this a little bit ago. I received it, in about 8 days. I did some research and I was looking around because I wanted to get my first actual retro handheld. I grew up in the video game age in the 70s and 80s, but when Game Boy came out in 1989, I think it was, it never really thrilled me. And all the handhelds after that, I just really was never interested in collecting them. I stayed with the game consoles and played on the TV and things like that. I just preferred that, and so I never really got into the handhelds. But I did some research on this because I wanted to pick one up. And this one got a lot of news and reviews, and a lot of people talked about it. So I picked this up off of AliExpress. I looked around. Amazon was selling them for like $30 more. AliExpress was selling them for in the $30-$40 range. At the time I picked mine up, mine was like $45 and some change. So it's a nice little thing. I'm going to bring the camera in closer and show you a little of its features and what it has to offer. And it has a lot to offer. I enjoy it. And being my first handheld, I love that it plays all the emulated, retro games. So let me bring the camera in a little bit closer and I'll show you some of the features it has. Here we have a closer look at the box. Let's see, that's the end. There's some more specs here. And on this side, it shows you the colors, which I have the clear black, and they have a clear purple and a white. And I also noticed recently on their website, AliExpress, they have a clear orange, which looks pretty cool as well. Here's more specs on the back. It's got the quad-core processor, 1 GB RAM, 3.5-inch screen, 640 by 480 resolution, 4:3 aspect ratio. Those are the consoles that it supports. PlayStation Portable. All those you see there. It's got the 32 milliamp battery, which I haven't given it enough playing time to see exactly how long it would last on one charge, but give or take depending on how you use it. And it did come with a cord to charge it with here. Here's the little instruction booklet, if you want to call it that, that was inside. Giving you some combination key things there you can use to save and exit and things like that. Here's the inside. So I'll turn this on. Oh, I got this case too there. It was only $1 something. It's pretty nice. Put the thing on this side over here. Throw this one in here like that. Close it up. And it's hard. I kind of wanted a hard case. But that's that. So let's turn this sucker on now. It boots up pretty fast. And here's the D-pad, the buttons. Then there's the start button, select button, and this function button. I really haven't found that it has anything to do with anything. And here's the joysticks here on the bottom, and they're kind of like hidden away. They're not sticking up too much, so that's pretty nice. They're about the same height as all the other buttons. So on the bottom here, you got the DC port here to charge earphones, and this is where you'd hook up like your Wi-Fi dongle if you do it that way, or you can hook this up to a phone to update the Arcos operating system, and these holes here are not speakers. Don't let that fool you. It has one single speaker right there, which doesn't sound too bad. Over on this side, you get the power button. And this side here is usually for the games. But on this model here, here's the volume up and down. The operating system and the games come in on one SD card. I haven't taken it out or anything like that. But some models, the games and the operating system come in on one card, and some of these models have the operating system card on this side and the games system on this side. So I was surprised they only got the one. And nothing on top. The back here has the L1, R1, L2, R2, and the sticker here. I like how they misspelled console. And it's nice that it has a battery door, so you can take the battery out and replace it in the future if need be. And the door's ribbed here for, you know, when you're holding it, gives you a better grip. So here we go with the games. Supposedly it has 1,500 games. You have an options menu. Then you have all games. Favorites, Capcom 1 Play System with 32 games. Capcom 2 with 37 games. Capcom 3 with only 4 games. Then we've got the MAME Arcade with 1,928 games. Let's see if I can bring this in closer. Then you got PC Engine with 359 games. Family Computer, 1,639 games. Super Famicom, 451 games. Nintendo NES, only 500 games, but that's a nice selection. Super Nintendo has 1,332 games. Nintendo 64 has 187. Game Boy has 3,675. Game Boy Color, 2,099. Game Boy Advance, 1,081. Nintendo DS, only 15 games. Sega Mega Drive, 1,221 games. Sega Dreamcast, 5 games. Game Gear, 263. Neo Geo, 204. PlayStation 1, only 23 games. PlayStation Portable, 26 games. Now, this theming here, you can change out by going into here. I don't know if that's going to come out better or not. Probably not. And here's main menu where you have the display settings here. You go in there. It's not going to pick that up that well. Well, this is the brightness. Let's see if I can get it. It's not going to come out. Well, you can change the brightness there. Then you go down to you have UI settings, sound settings, game collection settings, emulator settings, scraper, advanced settings, quit. Then you have the battery percentage here. See if I can get that closer. There we go. Picking up the lights above it, so not good. See if I can get that better like that. Okay, we got battery percentage, sound at 75%, brightness at 75%, and the Wi-Fi is off. And this is the original operating system. I have not updated it yet. This is still from 4/23/2022. I'm not sure if I'm going to update that or not. Well, we'll see. There we go. That's a little better. Now this is where you go in and change the theme. I have it on set on NES box. So if you go in here and change it out, there's all these themes you can change it to. And if you go in here, this is the Arcos Carbon, and you change it to that, and it reloads it, and now you have it like this, and it goes from side to side. which is kind of neat. But some of these, when you go in like the NES, you don't have any box art, which I don't like that. But some of them, you know, like the Super Nintendo, that doesn't have box art. Nintendo 64 has these things here. The box art on some of them, and a screenshot. But that's how you change that. I like the theme of the NES box, but you can change it to all those. So I'm going to change it back to this. And I just like this look here. So let's go into some of the games. Let's take a closer look. And you can change this light here to red if you want also. Let me go into the options menu here. Okay, you go there, sound settings. There's all the sound settings. Game collections. You can go in and change those. Emulators, you can select an emulator for each system you have in there. Advanced, here you got the time zone. Switch buttons, power saver modes, language. You can show the frame rate if you want. UI settings. You can have the clock showing if you want. You can have the battery status showing if you want. The clock would be up in this corner. The batteries will be over in this corner. I don't like those on the screen when I'm playing, so I don't have those on there, but you can have those. So let's go into a couple of games here. Start with Nintendo. There's Super Mario. I'm going to go into Contra. That's always a good one to start with. And the A button is to select, and the B button is to go back. Turn this up a little bit. Now I'll talk about the D-pad here in a minute. Oh, shoot. Just put it in here. Ah, stupid. Not doing good here. Come on. Okay, that's enough of that. So to get out of the game, you press the select and start buttons. There's another way too, but this is my easiest way to get out of that. But that's that. It goes back to the screen. Press B, go back. You can choose another game. There's Super Nintendo. Let's go into Super Nintendo. Quite a few games in here to go through. Nintendo 64. Now I have noticed on some of the Nintendo 64 and the Dreamcast and a few of the PlayStation Portable games, there is sort of a problem when you play it. There's the glitchiness, the sound distortion, and sometimes it goes slow. Let's see. Go into the Nintendo 64. I think Cruising USA is supposedly a hard one to play. Yeah, you can hear the noise is kind of distorting, so you are going to run into some problems with those three systems. I'm not even going to try this because I know it's going to be bad. But that's the Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, and some of the PlayStation Portable. Most of those play pretty good though. Let's see. Options, backup settings. Here's some more options here. You can go through. Here's where you would change the LED light there to red. Now it's red. And I had this at 100% when I started filming this video, and now it's down to 87%. So depending on the games you play and how much you monkey around with it and everything like that, you know, your battery will go up and down depending, you know, probably 4 to 6 hours, anywhere in between there. But let's see if I covered everything. It's a nice system. It fits good in your hand. The L and R buttons back here, you know, feel pretty good when you're using it. The D-pad, you know, I've heard complaints that it's stiff, but I don't know. It don't bug me. I've used it for 3 or 4 days here now, and maybe it's broken in a little bit. I don't know. I was playing Contra, and I could do the angles, you know, fine, and these buttons here are good. And there are fixes to them if you look on the internet and all that. So I haven't done any of that to mine. These things do press. These work pretty good. You know, I think for the price you're paying for this and the amount of games, even though there's some games and systems that don't work very well on here. For 40 some dollars or cheaper, you can find it. I think it's a pretty good retro handheld system here. AliExpress, you know, I was kind of worried about the website at first, but I used PayPal, so if I had any problems, you know, I could go through PayPal and get my money back or anything like that. But that's the system, the R36S game console. So I would say if you're looking for a great value, you know, it's a great thing to pick up. I'm sure there'll be newer models, you know, out soon. They're always coming up with new ones. Check the website, AliExpress, or even Amazon if you want to pay a little bit more and feel more confident. I would say go for it. It's a nice handheld system. It's light, great to take places. When I'm at home, and, you know, I'd use my consoles or I'd emulate on the computer or something like that. You know, the case is nice. So I would give it a good rating. There you have it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll try to answer anything about it that I can. I haven't updated the operating system or anything like that, so I'm not familiar with that part yet. But overall, I would give it probably a high B score, or I would say 4.5 out of 5 stars. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, I just wanted to throw a couple more games here at the end of the video so you could see some more gameplay here. I'm going to play a few here. This is regular Super Mario Brothers. Well, that didn't go too good. Screen looks pretty good at angles. All right, let's go to another game. Go to see if Castlevania. Original Castlevania here. All right. That's NES. Let's try Super Nintendo. If you hold the D-pad down, it can go faster through the game, since there's like 1,300 of these games. Did I see Donkey Kong? Let's try Donkey Kong. There's Diddy. Okay, that was Super Nintendo. Donkey Kong. Let's go to a Sega game. Let's go super fast here and see what I end up with. Bam. Ooh, crew ball. Pinball, let's see what that does. I got to figure out the controls here for a minute. I'll hold that in. right, that's enough of that one. Let's go to another one. Let's go to PlayStation Portable. Let's see. Metal Slug. Let's try Metal Slug. Metal Slug's always fun.
Metal Slug. Double X. Mission 1. Start.
Let's see how good I do with that now. Keep dying here. Enough of that one. So that was PlayStation Portable. That game seemed pretty good. Let's go to Dreamcast and see if this gives me any problems. Yeah, I can tell right off the sound is kind of gibberish. Yeah, it just doesn't sound right. Let's see how the gameplay is. It's not sounding too good.
I know you, Razier. You are worthy.
What madness is this?
Now the speaking doesn't sound too bad.
What form is this that I've come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Razier. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Cain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer,
I can't skip through this.
avenge yourself.
So let's try Game Gear. This one seems pretty good. That one's not too bad, Game Gear. But I think it's just mainly the Dreamcast, N64, and maybe a few of the PlayStation Portable. But other than that, I think everything else plays really well on here. So I think it's a great system. So I'll call that a wrap. And I want to thank you for watching. And watch out for my next video.